Welcome back everyone. Wes from Carl Wesley Sewing Patterns here, and in this video I'm going to show you how to make some easy DIY crocheted pattern weights to use for rotary cutting. To make a basic crocheted pattern weight, you really don't even have to know how to crochet. Let's talk about the supplies you will need. First, you will need some metal washers purchased from the hardware store. There isn't really a particular size or weight that you will need, so just pick one that you like. You will need some standard worsted weight yarn in a color that you like. The yarn I'm using is some leftover cotton yarn I used to make dishcloths, a 4.5 millimeter crochet hook, some small scissors to cut your yarn, and a large eye tapestry needle. Now, the first thing you need to do for any crochet is to make a slip knot on your crochet hook. You want the slip knot to be about 8 inches or so from the end of your yarn, and really all this is a loop inside a loop. If you have your slip knot right, when you pull the ends of the yarn, it should tighten the slip knot down onto your crochet hook. Here's a still photo demonstrating the slip knot. Feel free to pause the video here to help you figure this part out. After you have your slip knot, you're going to insert your crochet hook into the center of one of your washers and draw up a loop of yarn to the outside of the washer. After drawing up the yarn, you will see that you have 2 loops on the outside edge of your washer. Wrap your working yarn once more around the tip of your crochet hook, and then draw the yarn through the 2 loops on the hook. Now you've created 1 stitch. To make another stitch, insert the crochet hook into the washer, draw up a loop so that you have 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, and draw through both loops on the hook. Now you've created a second stitch. For those of you that already know how to crochet, you are basically doing a single crochet all the way around the washer. Repeat this process over again until you get the washer completely covered in yarn. There isn't really a set number of stitches you need to make. Just create as many as you want until you have the washer covered as densely or as lightly as you'd like. If you're still confused, here's a view from a different angle that hopefully will clear up this process a little bit. Keep crocheting all the way around until you have your washer covered with yarn. And if you want to make the stitches denser, all you have to do is slide the stitches you've created so that they are closer together. Once you've made it all the way around, you need to make a slip stitch. To make a slip stitch, insert your crochet hook into the first stitch, draw up a loop of yarn, and then pull the same loop through the loop that was already on your crochet hook. Now all that's left to do is tie off the end of the yarn. So take your scissors and cut a length of your working yarn about 8 inches or so from your hook. Then draw a loop of working yarn through the loop that's already on your hook, pull the yarn all the way through, and tighten the knot. Now you will have 2 thread tails remaining on your weight, so all you need to do with those is thread those into your tapestry needle and stitch them back underneath the stitches on your washer. After you've stitched the thread tail underneath a length of several stitches, then you can go ahead and take your scissors and trim off the remaining thread tail. And that's really all it takes to make a basic crochet pattern weight. Super easy, right? Now, if you're feeling a little bit more creative, I'm going to show you 2 other variations of this pattern weight that you can make. The first variation is also really simple. Just as you did for the basic crocheted pattern weight, you've crocheted all the way around your washer, and now you're going to make a slip stitch to close the round. Next, you're going to chain 1 by doing a yarn over and drawing the yarn through the loop once. Now all we're going to do is do a single crochet in each one of the stitches all the way around the weight. This process works basically the same way as we made the first round of yarn around the washer. Insert your crochet hook under the next open stitch, which is actually 2 strands of yarn like I'm showing you here. Draw up a loop, and then yarn over and draw the yarn through both loops on the hook. Now we have 1 single crochet completed, and now we will insert the hook under the next stitch. Draw up a loop of working yarn, yarn over the hook, and draw it through both loops on the hook. Let me show you a few more times to help you get the hang of this. You can see that as I work my way around the weight, creating this extra row of stitches, I'm making a new little ridge of yarn that will make it easier to pick up the weight. After you single crochet all the way around, go ahead and slip stitch in your starting loop and then finish off just as you did before. The second variation I'm going to show you is my favorite. So you've crocheted all the way around your washer, and now you're going to slip stitch in the starting stitch. Now you're going to chain 2 by doing a yarn over through the loop twice. For this next round, you need to know how to double crochet. So here are the steps for that process. Feel free to pause the video here and screenshot these instructions as needed. We are going to place 3 double crochets in each single stitch going around the weight. So we're inserting into the first stitch, and we're going to do 1 double crochet. Now we're going to yarn over and insert the hook back in the same stitch we just used to do another double crochet. And finally, we're going to do one more double crochet in that same stitch. After that, you can move to the next open stitch and put 3 double crochets in that one, and repeat this process all the way around the weight. Now we have 3 double crochets in the second stitch, so we can move on to the third stitch and so on. This process is going to take a little bit longer to work all these stitches around the outside, but once you get all the way around, you're going to have a fun ruffled edge because of all the extra volume you added to the outside. Here's what the final result will be after you've made your way all the way around. Once you've got a little bit of practice crocheting, you can come up with all kinds of creative edgings for these pattern weights. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it useful, and that you will have fun creating all different kinds of weights to use when you go to rotary cut your next garment. If you've watched any of my sewing videos, you know that I always advocate using weights and a rotary cutter for cutting. So these decorative weights are a great addition to your sewing toolbox. If you have any questions or need any help, please drop me a comment below and I will get back to you as soon as I can. And a like or subscribe are always appreciated. That's all for this video. I'll see you in the next one, and in the meantime, happy sewing!